Hey folks, Prepper Princess. I wanted to talk to you today about dealing with finances in good times and in bad. So let's get to it. All right, if you are not familiar, please go ahead and check out my Patreon page for more personal videos as well as blogs. I talk about pretty much everything going on in life. But today specifically, I wanted to talk to you guys about, doing good in good times, but doing great in bad times. So I'm sitting in my 98 Toyota Camry. Now, as most of you know, I have a 2015 Toyota Corolla. Well, there is a sentimental story behind this 98 Toyota Camry. If you know the history, you know that this was a sentimental purchase for me. This particular Camry, the 98, is exactly like the one I had before. Same color, same interior, everything with a couple of teeny tiny little differences. That being that this one has a fin on the back and it has gold lettering instead of silver and a lot less miles. So mine had about 200,000 miles when it finally decided it wanted to die, and this one I purchased with only 77,000 miles for $4,000. Now, a lot of people say, why do you have two cars if you walk almost everywhere? Well, why not? I always wanted my old car back, and I always regretted the fact that I lost my car because I was in a really tight place financially. And I don't even want to get into the financials of it, but I had transferred all of my money and I had no cash and I couldn't do anything, and I was stuck because I was on vacation. It would have taken 5 weeks to fix the old one, blah, 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 blah. But this is something where in this current recession, people are selling their belongings. Maybe it's out of desperation. Maybe it's out of fear. Maybe they just don't want the items anymore. But this is the time when, if you were looking for a boat that you couldn't afford before and you're still in a good place, now's the time to start looking for that boat. If you wanted a quad, a ATV, and you could never quite get anybody to come down on the price, now is the time. It is a half price sale on anything and everything that you wanted right now. Pretty soon, I think that we're going to go into a housing crash, but that's a lot slower than the tangible items that are very easy to get your hands on. So I think that's going to be another year, anywhere between 1 and 3 years. Now, for people who are debt-free and you've got a lot of cash on hand, this is the time where we have to be patient, and it's really, really difficult. Now, when the housing crashes, I will be purchasing, more than likely, a foreclosure in a different area. Now, for those of you who ask, why didn't you go off-grid? Well, an off-grid home is going to be my forever home. And the house that I'm in right now was never intended to be forever home. I intended to stay there for 2 or 3 years because I can see what's coming. I'm not a psychic, but I can see it's written all over the wall that we're going to have a housing crash. And I wanted to use this house, which I'm perfectly content in, as a rental property. And I bought it cheap, and I'm in the process of fixing it up over a 2 to 3 year period, and I'm almost done. And then once the housing crisis happens, I will be purchasing a foreclosure, which, please don't think that I'm kicking somebody out of their house. When a house has been foreclosed on, the bank already owns it and the people no longer live there. So I'm buying it from a bank. I'm not buying it from some, I'm not stealing it from some poor family. It's already been taken away from them. So please, don't leave those comments. Please do your research before you leave those types of comments. But right now, it is a super sale on items like cars, trucks, SUVs, boats, ATVs, Sea-Doos, maybe some secondary properties, extra land that people can no longer afford. So right now is the time for those tangible, easy transactions. In another couple years, we're looking at houses, and I'm just waiting for the houses. But these are difficult times for people, very, very difficult times. What people have a tendency to do, just the general population, is when times are good, they spend just like times are good. When times are bad, Those are the people that have a really, really bad time. They lose their job and they have no savings because times were so good. I'm just going to spend it because it's just going to keep on coming in, right? For people who are on my channel and have always been savers, debt-free people, savers, people who are trying to get debt-free, you know that once you are debt-free and you're able to easily save money, easily make money, your expenses are super, super low, then in the good times, you're just trotting along, you know, no problem, just do, no problem, everything's great. And then when times are bad, that's actually your going up point. Where everyone else is going down, that's your going up point. That's when you are able to use the resources that you have trained yourself to obtain and maintain in order to find those half-price houses. That's pretty much what a recession does. It makes houses half price. And these housing crashes and recessions only happen, this is like Black Friday on steroids. It only happens once every 10 to 20 years. And in your lifetime, you're lucky if you can take advantage of those Black Friday deals on houses 2 or 3 times in your lifetime. So it's like, you know, you're pushing away all the people, you're getting to it and all this other stuff. But that's what happens to people who have a different mindset, people like us who have been debt-free for so long. We're easily able to make and save money because our expenses are so low. We have no debt. The house is paid off. And we're just trotting along as the economy's going really great. Trot, trot, trot. And then as soon as the economy fails, here we are making those huge purchases. And that's not something to take lightly. People are going to be mad at you your entire life for living your life the way that you live your life. Let me explain. So you have a cousin, an aunt, uncle, a friend, whatever. They bought their house for $500,000 at the peak of the housing market, thinking that it's just going to go up and up and up. Meanwhile, you're sitting here in your little studio or 1-bedroom apartment, maybe a little tiny 2-bed house like mine. And then all of a sudden the housing market crashes and their $700,000 house is only worth $350,000. Well, you go and you find a fantastic deal. You get that same $700,000 house that your aunt and uncle paid $700,000 for, and you get it for $350,000. And you paid for it in cash up front. Meanwhile, your aunt and uncle are going to be paying their mortgage until after they're dead. They're never going to pay off their mortgage. But you have the same house as them, and they are going to hate you for it. They're going to hate you for it. People who buy cars, like from people such as me, I got so much hate on my comment section. How dare you take advantage of somebody in these trying times? Well, if I didn't buy it, somebody else was going to buy it. Some people say, what a horrible purchase. That car's too old. This is my dream car, folks. A 98 Toyota Camry. Dream car. Ridiculous dream car, but that's my dream car. I got the Corolla that I always wanted for gas economy, but now my old job was 30 miles from home. My new job is less than a mile from my house, so it's not very difficult to not need that Corolla anymore. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but that's neither here nor there. So for those of you who are in desperate times right now and you think that there's no way out, it takes time, it takes discipline, and I'm hoping that there are a lot of young people out there that watch my channel and follow the example that I'm following, and they're going to have if you stay debt-free, you get through college, and you pay for your house in cash, you are going to have the easiest, most stress-free life that you can imagine. And stress kills. I am not kidding you. People talk about cancer and diabetes and all this other stuff. Being stress-free, it's going to improve your quality of life, and it's going to make your life last longer. And I want you all to be stress-free or as stress-free as possible. And don't let others take advantage of you. If you are in the place where you're trying to sell things, don't let them lowball you. Be patient. Get what you think that your item is worth. And don't take advantage of others either. If they're asking for a price and you think that that item that they're selling is worth the price that they're asking, give them that price. Don't lowball them just because you want to be cheap and save money. That is taking advantage of somebody. Somebody who is asking for $4,000 for a car and it's been on the market, they've had it posted for a long time. You do not go in there and offer $3,000 for a car that is worth much more than $4,000 to you. That's taking advantage. So it goes both ways, folks. Don't let others take advantage of you, and don't take advantage of others. All right, folks, that's what I've got for you today. Do what you can with what you've got. Prepper Princess out. By the way, folks, I forgot to mention, there is no greenery in Arizona. It does not exist. It's just a desolate desert with nothing in it. There's no trees and there's no grass. So just so you know, that's all that there is here, is just dry desert. It's horrible. It's awful. There's no shade anywhere.
And yelled at them to pull me up now. Guys, pull me up, pull me up, pull me up! I started screaming at them, and they pulled me up the road fairly quickly. You guys talking to me? They knew that something was wrong. Was you guys? No. Boy, just get me out of here. As a kid, that was my main fear, was that there was someone in the well with me. But as an adult, I knew there couldn't be anything down there. As I look back on it, I've never been able to come up with a rational explanation. Well, as my mom's cancer progressed, and they kind of told us that Mom wasn't going to probably live through the weekend. That evening, I was there with Mom alone. It had been at least a day since she'd even talked.